Hey Cancer, welcome to my channel Lake's View. My name's Aleka. I am new to YouTube. Thank you so much for giving my channel a shot. I started this YouTube channel just because I wanted to remind you all how important your individual healing and self-care is on this journey towards self-development and self-empowerment. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you guys a tarot reading on what you need to heal for the month of June. We're going to go over what you need to heal, what's blocking you from healing, and then I'm going to leave you guys with some advice, okay? So let's get started. Keep in mind that these readings are general in nature, so it may or may not resonate. The message may or may not resonate, but you may find a little trinket here or there, something that you can leave with and take from this reading either way, if the whole entire thing doesn't resonate with you. So what does Cancer need to heal for the month of June? What does Cancer need to heal for the month of June? Cancer. What does Cancer need to heal for the month of June? Okay, the Magician. You may need to heal a feeling of lack within yourself where you feel like you are unable to make the things you want happen, okay? You feel like you're not lucky. You feel like nothing good is happening for you as of lately. One disappointment after another, and you feel like you aren't having a really you don't have a grasp on your own life. This is how you're feeling. You're feeling like there's a lack of control. You don't have control in a situation. That's what I'm trying to say. You're feeling like there's a lot of outside factors that are determining what's happening to you, and this is really bothering you. The fact that you don't feel like you can make things happen for yourself. I'm sorry you feel that way, Cancer. Why does Cancer feel like they can't make things happen for themselves? Tell me more about what Cancer needs to heal. What does Cancer need to heal? Like, there's like a lack of motivation, you know? Like, I feel like you're in a negative mind frame where you're feeling down on your luck, you're feeling like nothing is going your way, one disappointment after the other, and you're kind of just feeling like, well, this is just my life. This is just what it is. It's always going to be this way. Nothing I can do about it. Something wants to come out. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles came out, and this to me is my living my best life card, my self-care card, my card, you know, the glow up card when all the exes want you back. That's this card right here. That's this card. Making moves. It's a card of financial independence. All right, this is when you're doing your own thing. That's why it's a very independent card, and that's why a lot of people call it the single card. And for me, yes, it could be the single card. It could be a person who just got out of a really unhealthy relationship or something, and you know, this is Stella getting her groove back or something. But you could also embody this energy even if you are in a partnership. This is just embodying the energy of someone who has stuff in control for themselves, you know? They're making things happen. All these pentacles, they did this, they did that for themselves. But it didn't come easy. But once it did come, look at this girl. Look at her, she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She's beautiful. She doesn't have a care or worry in the world. That's because she's put herself in a predicament where she feels like she has everything she needs, which is exactly the opposite of what you feel right now, Cancer. And that's interesting that this card came out because I'm feeling like you're needing to embody the energy of the Nine of Pentacles, okay? This energy, this is what you need, Cancer. This right here, the Nine of Pentacles. This is you. This is what you could be. This is what you should be. Tell me more about what Cancer needs to heal for the month of June. What does Cancer need to heal for the month of June? Sign of Cancer. What does Cancer need to heal for the month of June? Cancer. Okay, the Fool card wants to come out. So, the Fool card. This is taking a leap of faith. And also, don't be too hesitant to make moves, okay? This may actually be why some of the things you want aren't finding their way to you. Is because you're a little bit afraid to take a leap of faith. You're afraid to make a move and not necessarily know what's next or what's going to come of that move that you're making. So you're choosing to just not make moves at all. And also, it could be just the negative mind frame that you're in right now. Sometimes when we're going through things and we're going through a little bit of depression, it just makes us unmotivated. That's all. And then I do feel like this is just a phase for you. This is not something inevitable for you or anything like that. This is just a phase. But what I do feel that you need to do is be willing to take more chances in life, Cancer. And you may be surprised. I feel like you assume that you're as good as what your circumstances are right now, and that's not true at all. I think you believe that if you were meant to have better, you would have it by now. And I just think that the only reason you don't have better for yourself in the way that you want to have better for yourself is the fact that you have yet to take enough chances with your life. Maybe you don't apply for certain jobs because you feel like you're not qualified. I've applied for a job that I was underqualified for and got it. Like, it was, applying for it was a leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? I was pushing it by even applying for it. And then when I got the call back, interviewing for it, like, I knew what I was talking about, and but you know what? It worked out. You know why? Because I needed to give myself that push in order to put myself in a new predicament. And it worked out. Had you told me that I was gonna have that job before I had it, like a few months before I would say no, like, I'm not qualified for that. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that kind of work. And it did work out. Someone saw something in me that they felt was special, and I was work withable. What is blocking Cancer? Even though I feel like it's the negative mindset that you have right now. I'm not saying you're an overall negative person, but sometimes Cancers can tend to get in their feelings, deep within them feelings, and there's a feeling here of self-sabotage, when you just kind of wallow in your misery a little bit versus change something that you're doing. You can't do the same thing and then expect different results. I know that's something we hear a lot, but it's really true. You have to do something different in order for something different to happen, Cancer. What's blocking Cancer? Okay. Ace of Swords. Okay. This here to me speaks to there being a lack of authenticity within you, and I'm not saying you're not an authentic person. What I'm saying is you're not being true to who you are, all right? You're supposed to take into consideration everything that's unique and everything that's special about you and utilize this in making your own dreams come true. You're not really supposed to be looking at what other people are doing and comparing yourself and allowing that to make you feel bad about where you are in life. What we're supposed to do when we see other people with success, we're supposed to be inspired by it, okay? We're supposed to be inspired by other people's success so that we can see that it is very possible, especially when we see other people like ourselves. Maybe someone that you grew up with, someone who came from your same neighborhood, your same background. They reached points in their life that you felt no one who comes from where you come from could ever achieve. And they did this, and it's very possible for you to do this as well. You just have to find what's unique about you and what authenticity you have to bring to the world. And also, speak it into existence, all right? And I know, don't be the type of person that just talks about something just to talk about it, just to say, oh, one day. But sometimes when we don't share too much, of your plan, but what I'm saying is sometimes when we share our dreams with the people who are around us, who love us, who want the best for us, sometimes it gives us an extra push. Because, for example, let's say, oh, I want to go back to school, right? You're always saying this, you tell your friends, you tell your family, but for whatever reason, you just get caught up, you get distracted, and it never really happens. Sometimes when we have people in our lives who are saying, hey, what's going on with school? It gives us that little push. It gives us the push we need, the push that we're afraid to really, take it. We're afraid to move, we're afraid to budge. But sometimes when someone reminds us of something we said we wanted, it reminds us like, oh yeah, I have to take care of that, It's easy to not tell people stuff and stay stuck in your own mind, but sometimes we need the people around us to give us that push, okay? And sometimes we have to let them and not be annoyed or offended or feel like they're trying to take shots at us, like, oh, what do you mean what's going on in school? What's going on with you and your job and your life, No, like sometimes people just want to know because you said you wanted to go back to school, or you said you wanted to start that new project, or you said you wanted to travel here, and they're just following up based off of what you said. Okay, Cancer? All right. What is blocking Cancer? What is blocking Cancer from healing? What is blocking Cancer from healing? What is blocking Cancer from healing? Queen of Swords. You're being very, very stubborn right now. You're being very, very stubborn, and you're being closed off to a lot of options that are around you. Okay? I don't feel like you're looking at things from a logical standpoint. I feel like you're very much in your feelings, and you're choosing to block off your logic in this situation right now. And you're basing everything off of the way you're feeling. So if you're in a point in your life where you're not feeling so good right now, you're looking at everything through the lens of a person who doesn't feel good about themselves right now. Okay? So any option that presents itself to you, you will kind of sabotage that option because you're not looking at it through the lens of a person who believes in themselves currently. All right, Cancer? What you have to do is you have to remind yourself of your worth. You have to study yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to know what you bring to the table. You have to know what you bring to the world. And from there, you can proceed. What you have to see is your worth. When you see your worth, you will see clearly what you're in alignment with. You'll see it clearly. It won't even be a question. Sorry, guys. But yeah, you would have to be able to decide that you're capable of doing anything that you pretty much want to do. All right? You really do. And I like to use myself as an example sometimes. Like me, I wanted to start this channel for a while before I started it. And honestly, I was just afraid of like, oh, what if I don't do good? What if I don't come across, well on camera? What if I'm just nervous all the time? What if this? And I reminded myself, I just felt really self-conscious. And I reminded myself, I said, you don't have to post nothing you don't like. Oh yeah, I don't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there was a whole unnecessary obstacle in the way of me doing something that I really wanted to do. I just felt very self-conscious, about self-image and things like that. And I'm like, I'm putting myself on display for people to watch me, for people to look at me, for people to judge me, which is something that I truly dislike in real life. I really dislike, I'm very self-conscious when I'm being stared at for too long. I'm just like, what is this person thinking? What are they looking at? And it took me a while. As I got older, I began to realize that people saw something in me that drew their attention to me, that made them want to look at me. So I had to shift the way I was thinking. I was looking at things from a very insecure and defensive point of view of like, why are they staring? What are they looking at? What's the problem? What's the issue? But I'm like, wow, like this person, whether it's they like the way you look, they like your outfit, they like your face, they like something, but there's something about you and your energy that draws people to you, and you have, that's what I was saying to myself. And this is also what I'm saying to you, and I just don't want you to get caught up in feeling like you're not capable of something. Because there was a time where I thought, I knew I wanted to do this, but there was a time that I thought I wouldn't be good at it. All right. And then now the more I do it, the more comfortable I get with it. Every month that I do these things, there's the slight jitters, but it's the good jitters, the excited jitters, the type of jitters that keep you on your feet. When I was in college, we had a class about anxiety. The class was about, it was like a psychology class, like applied psychology, and we spoke about anxiety, and the professor would speak about how a certain level of anxiety is healthy. And that's good because this is the good anxiety. This is the type of anxiety that keeps me on my toes, the type of anxiety that makes me want to make sure I'm doing as good as I can do. All right, Cancer? So I want to leave you with some advice. What's some advice we have for Cancer? What's some advice we have for Cancer? What's some advice? Let's get out of the self-pity thing, okay? Get out of the self-pity thing. We don't do the 5 of Cups over here, Cancer. We don't wallow in our misery, at least not for too long, okay? So the 5 of Cups came out for you, Cancer, and I really hate seeing this card just because this is a card of a person with regret, a person who is looking at the past, what they used to have, repeating conversations in their head about what they should have said, what they should have done. And you know what? All that does is make us more sad because the one thing we know is we cannot change the past. Nothing can change the past. We can only control what we do moving forward. So what I want you to do, Cancer, is I want you to cut your losses. The things that you feel have not gone right for you in X amount of time, I want you to decide that that was the old you, and moving forward, you're gonna make new decisions that are gonna lead you to a different path where you won't be running into the same obstacles that you ran into in the past, okay? You have to do something differently in order for something different to happen, okay, Cancer? I do believe you're capable of this. I do believe you can do this. I know you are, actually. I know you are. I just don't want you to be so hard on yourself, you know, because I feel like you may even be at a place where you're not even sure what's wrong with you. You know, when you just feel bad, and if somebody says what's wrong, you don't really know, you just know you don't feel good. You know, I want you to get to the root of what's not making you feel good, and then I want you to deal with that. And when you deal with whatever is not making you feel good about yourself, Cancer, you'll deal with every situation in a new way. Because right now you're dealing from things from a place of a person who is hurt, who is damaged, who is disappointed, who does not believe in themselves, who is unmotivated. All right. So imagine if when you got opportunities, you acted as a person who believed in yourself, as a person who thinks they can do this. You would make the moves of a person who believes in themselves. Right now, you're making the moves of the opposite, okay? So what I'm gonna do for you now, I'm gonna pull a self-care card from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck. What self-care message do we wanna leave Cancer with? What self-care message do we wanna leave Cancer with? Sweet treat. Ooh. Ooh. Sweet treat. So what I'm getting from this, right? Yes, this is speaking to treats and sweets and things like that, but I'm getting more of a treating yourself thing from this, all right? Do something nice for yourself. Do some sort of self-care practice for yourself. It could be something as simple as doing your hairstyle, washing your hair, shaving. Shaving is self-care, okay? Reminding yourself to shave and keep up the silky smooth skin and stuff like that. Do something really nice for yourself. You could even make yourself a really nice dish, a really nice treat. Make yourself your favorite dinner or buy your favorite dinner, but do something nice for yourself, okay? Do something that's going to make you feel good, all right? Even if it's watching a movie, whatever it is that you would consider treating yourself, do it, okay? Let me read what the book has to say about this, and then we shall be off. So your mantra is, Cancer, life is sweet to me. Indulging in a sweet treat every once in a while so that it remains truly special can be so good for the soul. This is not the time to restrict calories. This is about treating yourself to something delightful. Head to your favorite bakery or pick up something tasty. Or ask a friend or family member for a special recipe that you can make at home. Set an intention and infuse good energy into your sweet creation. Treat the process of making it and eating it like a sacred ritual. Whether you eat it alone or share it with loved ones, before you take that first bite, say a prayer to express your gratitude for the nourishment and joy it will provide. Be sure to savor every second and keep your mind clear while eating it so you can experience it mindfully. All right, Cancer? So remember to treat yourself. Remember to have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself what you have to offer. Remind yourself that you are worthy. Remind yourself that you are capable of anything that you want to do. You just have to put in the work, you know? And half of it is wanting it and half of it is putting in the work, okay? Don't get caught up into just wanting it, because when you just want something, you'll constantly be reminded that you don't have it. All right, Cancer? So I'm gonna leave you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my style, like, share, and subscribe. Comment and introduce yourself below. I'd love to know who's watching my videos. I'd love to interact with you all. I just stopped by to remind you guys that your individual healing and self-care is so vital on this journey, and I want you to know that your self-care is so essential for your soul. Bye, Cancer.